Hey, good evening, everyone. This is Matt coming to you, believe it or not, from all places, KU Med Hospital. Lisa is here tonight dealing with a little bit of pancreatitis. Hey, I want to talk to you about something real quick that the Lord has laid on my heart. And I'm talking to somebody out there. I want to talk to you about the five senses, or actually the six. The five senses that we know about today is to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, and to touch. Those are the five body senses. But I want to talk to you tonight about the sixth sense. Don't worry, this isn't a Bruce Willis movie with some kid with extrasensory perception, but this is about your perception, and this is about who God made you to be. Because when you tie those five senses together, to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, to be, that means that you have the ability to become, to be who God made you be, to not be one of the called, but one of the chosen. The Bible tells us that many are called, but few are chosen. And people who rise up to the occasion and say, I'm going to be for God. To be blank. Just fill in the blank. They sign the contract and say, I don't care what is in the blank. You don't need to have something in the blank. They just say to be. Because they are not trying to have their abilities say, God, use my abilities. But they're trying to say, God, use my availability. I don't know who this is just for tonight, but I want to beseech you on the mercies of God to be. To be the man or the woman of God that God has called you to be. To be who you're supposed to be for your families as a husband or wife. To be an aspiring student. To be who God called you to be tomorrow. The Bible tells us in the scriptures about Samuel that when he was just a little boy, he used to hear a voice in the night, and he went running to his master, the head priest, and said, Master, I heard you call. After 2 times, the priest said that he's hearing from the Lord. He says, you go back to bed. And he says, when you hear your name called again, I want you to wake up and say, here I am, Lord, talk to me. And that's exactly what Samuel did. And Samuel went from being called to being chosen because he chose to be. Be who God called you to be. Be faithful and true to yourself. And if you're following our lessons, be courage. Be accountable to yourself and before the Lord. Be accountable to your prayer life. Be the minister that God called you to be. And ministering isn't trying to preach the perfect word. Sometimes ministering is picking somebody up and brushing them off, feeding somebody who's hungry, giving somebody a ride. That is ministry work, and that is to be. But most important of all, in all these things, may I encourage you to one thing, and that is Peg's message tonight, because she's on an assignment tonight with this message. In all things to be, the sixth sense, and the best sense of all, and the most important sense of all, is to be anointed. Because to be anointed is a sense that only comes from the Lord. This is Matt coming to you tonight from Kansas City on behalf of Pegs and Pegs Healing Paws, encouraging you to use all your senses to see, to hear, to smell, to taste, to touch, to be who God has called you to be. Remember always, be safe, be smart, have a purpose. Y'all have a good night.